College students are of the age to make the decision of whether or not to use tobacco products. However, with continuing studies about the negative effects of tobacco use are being presented on many universities, including Syracuse. Syracuse has in place policies to limit tobacco use on campus. The debate on tobacco use and policy continues to be controversial across the country and around the globe, and Syracuse is just one example. Syracuse University has put in place a campus-wide ban on tobacco products. Being that the campus is embedded in the city of Syracuse, it is very plausible that there would be public conflict with the Syracuse locals. Being a student here at Syracuse University for almost a year now, I've become well aware and exposed to the tobacco policies on campus and within residence halls, as well as how students have reacted to it. Syracuse University's tobacco-free policy is one example of reforms happening at universities across the nation. First, I will discuss the Syracuse University's policies and regulations on tobacco. Then I will discuss the policies that are coming to and from across the country, as well as student reactions to them. Lastly, I will discuss the negatives that have been found upon the implementation of these tobacco policies. As of July 1st, 2015, Syracuse University implemented its campus-wide tobacco ban. This prohibits the use of all tobacco products inside and out of any university-owned property. The main reason Syracuse made the decision is due to the fact that smoking is the leading cause of preventable death in the United States. Syracuse finds that the ban expresses their commitment to the health and well-being of its community members. All members of the Syracuse community are expected to comply with all regulations, and all policies are enforced by staff and local campus enforcement. Those who violate any policies are subject to the university disciplinary action and face the possibility of a fine, per the university policies and resources on tobacco-free on the campus webpage. Universities across the nation are implementing new tobacco policies and creating new initiatives for enforcing and moving towards a tobacco-free campus. Generally, campuses are using fines to enforce these new policies. However, an example of each of these was quoted in the USA Today College, which found that Michigan State was fining $150 to anyone who commits a violation. A research paper written by Michael Saude, an article published by the Truth Initiative, explores the various methods that universities are taking in order to enforce these policies. Now, San Diego State University had 63 volunteers take place in a campus-wide cigarette cleanup. In just 1 hour, volunteers collected over 23,000 cigarette butts. The objective, ridding the campus of tobacco residue in order to move forward as tobacco-free. Major companies such as CVS Health Foundation and the American Cancer Society are also getting involved in order to fight against tobacco use. They began offering grants in late 2017 in order to help supply any methods of advocating smoke-free campuses, all of which was in hopes of one main goal, that is to create the first tobacco-free generation. Grants of $1.2 million have already been awarded to 126 schools across the country. Yet there are still negatives that have been found that counter the implementation of non-smoking policies. An article written in Inside Higher Ed accesses the potential negatives of a completely smoke-free campus. Just because students cannot smoke on campus doesn't mean that they won't go off campus to fill their tobacco needs. Now students find themselves at all hours of the day at the far peripheries of campus, putting their safety at risk just to comply with these non-smoking policies. Another risk deals with the transport or how students will need to get to new locations to smoke. Either by foot or by car, students are looking for a new smoking spot will increase overall traffic and in turn increase a risk for accident and injury. While we understand that smoking and secondhand smoke offers many negative health effects, it may be possible that tobacco bans are causing more health risks in and of themselves. Now, per a study conducted by Haley Dickinson, students who prefer not to go off campus but aren't able to quit smoking have now made the jump to e-cigarettes. Electronic devices such as e-cigarettes, Juuls, and vapes are just a few examples of discrete non-odor devices that are being used by students to smoke in public and on campus. Electronic smoking devices are fairly new in comparison to cigarettes, and we are at the tip of the iceberg in terms of research. It may be very possible that smoking electronic devices may offer more and worse negative health effects than plain old cigarettes. A study conducted by BMC by Brooke L. Bennett offers various suggestions to improve or change smoke-free policies. The study found that it would be best to allow smoking on campus in designated smoking areas. This would eliminate traffic and safety concerns and offer the ability for non-smokers to avoid these areas to eliminate concerns of secondhand smoke. Syracuse University is just one of hundreds of universities across the country that has implemented this policy. Similar policies are taking effect in universities across the country, and the question is whether or not these policies are effective in achieving their goal, that is to eliminate tobacco use from this generation as well as future generations. There are both positive and negative aspects to this debate, and in regards to no smoking policies, the task is for us to decide which path we need to take in order to create the healthiest community we can here on campus.